Hello, everybody. I'm Christian Lamitschka for Country Music News International, and today on the show we have
Julia Capogrossi.
Julia. Welcome to Country Music News International. It's your first time here, so can you please introduce yourself just a little bit more to our readers and listeners who are hearing about you maybe for the first time?
Yeah, for sure. My name's Julia Capogrossi. I'm a Nashville country artist. This is my first CRS, which is really exciting. And yeah, I'm just I have a new single out. It's called Morgan. It's at Radio Now. So yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Well, let's go with so yeah just a little bit more. What brought you to country music?
Well, I grew up singing. I grew up in musical theater, actually, just because I grew up outside of New York City, and that's kind of the outlet up there. But I grew up, my mom is from Arkansas, grew up loving country music, and when I decided, I went to school for a year, actually. I went to university for a year and just realized, I need to do the singing thing or else I'll regret it forever. And I just knew country was the most relatable for me. It's what I grew up on. And so I moved, with my parents' blessing, I moved to Nashville.
So I believe it must be a culture shock a little to come from New York to Nashville.
Yeah, well, there are definitely more similarities than differences, which is a good thing. I think we're a lot more alike than we think, but there are a few. I mean, down here, there's the Southern hospitality aspect that you just don't get. A lot of people they're not in a rush down here. Up where I'm from, everyone's always rushing around. But it's nice. The people are great. And even though it's a culture shock, it's a good one, for sure.
So far, which kind of experience did you make since you're in Nashville?
Do you mean singing-wise? Yes. So I usually do a lot of rounds in Nashville. Sometimes I'll sing at the country, which is actually now called the Local. My biggest thing so far was actually I was asked to go to Argentina this past September and perform at the San Pedro Country Music Festival over there, which is the biggest country festival in South America, and I headlined that. So that was the biggest, most amazing experience living down here so far.
So when I understand it correct, you write your songs by yourself?
Some of them, for instance, my last single, Bush Light Budget, was all by myself. The new one, I have a co-writer on it, Denny Martin.
So tell us something about songwriting.
Well, songwriting's funny because a lot of people ask me, how do you write your songs? Do you start with lyrics first? Do you start with melody first? And to be honest, with me, it can come any way, which I think it's fun to do it that way. I'll hear a melody in my head and I'll say, oh, let me put lyrics to this, or I'll have a lyric and say, let me put a melody to it.
So what can we expect to see when we visit one of your concerts?
A lot of movement. I'm not very still on stage. I grew up dancing, so I like moving around the stage. A lot of different types of songs. I'm not, I'm very, sometimes I'll have really poppy, upbeat songs, and then sometimes I'll just have a really broken down country song. And I think that that's also something cool. It's the versatility that you'll see in one of my shows.
So please tell us something about what you're doing in your spare time.
In my spare time, I'm pretty much always writing or thinking about or doing some sort of business, or to be honest, I work out a lot as well. I exercise a lot, but that's pretty much my whole day is music, exercise, and sleep.
Wow, that's a packed day.
Yeah.
So you don't have time for go shopping or anything else?
Oh no, I go shopping. I find the time to go shopping.
Oh, okay, I could bet. So, what's your personal favorite music outside of country music?
My type of music or my favorite artist?
Well, as well.
Let me see. To be honest, lately it's been so country music based my entire life. I really cannot get enough of Eric Church. Like, I can listen to him all day, every day. Outside of country, I would say Bruno Mars. Just because, like I was saying, like I grew up dancing, and he has the whole package. He could dance, he could act, he can sing. I love him. I'm so entertained by him all the time.
When you get a chance to pick up an artist of your choice for a duet,
Eric Church.
I could bet.
Oh, he's so good. And I want him to write on it. I don't want him on it unless he writes on it, because he's such an amazing writer.
So when I'm asking you for who you like to opening, Eric Church?
Eric Church or Brothers Osborne or Maren Morris.
So what do you think where you will be in the next 1 or 2 years?
Well, hopefully, I'll have more connections with bigger labels, and just having more opportunities. I guess. I mean, I love doing this stuff, so as long as I'm still doing this stuff, that's great. But hopefully, I'm up a little bit more in the game, I guess you'd say.
So why a major label have to sign you?
Well, a lot of people don't realize how much money actually goes into this. I always want to do my own thing. I don't want people controlling every little bit. That's not why I want to go with a major label, but it is, they take care of cost-wise. And for a lot of artists, that is a problem, and it's becoming a problem. It takes a lot to afford it.
Okay, let me ask you different. Why a label have to sign you?
Instead of
whatever, we don't talking about a major or independent label, but why a record label have to sign you?
Well, I don't really need, I'm doing okay right now, so I don't need a label to sign me, but I would one day like for a major label, money-wise, to help me out. But right now it's not, right in front of me, so one day.
Okay. So, what can fans do to keep up to date with you?
Where can they find?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the most up-to-date place is facebook.com/Julia Capogrossi Music. I'm also very active on Instagram and Twitter, which is Julia Capogrossi, and my website is juliacapagrossi.com. I also have some music videos on my YouTube page, which is youtube.com/Julia Capogrossi.
So, folks, you know what to do, or you join or sign up for our daily newsletter at Country Music News International, where we keep you posted what's going on with her. I'm Lamitschka for Country Music News International.